Welcome to the fog-shrouded realm of Dead by Daylight, where the line between life and death blurs, and the pursuit of survival is both relentless and thrilling. In How to Survive a Dead by Daylight Beginner's Handbook, we embark on a journey into the heart-pounding world of this asymmetric horror game. Whether you're a newcomer nervously stepping into the fog for the first time, or a fledgling survivor seeking to hone your skills, this guide is your essential companion. Join us as we navigate the ominous trials, unravel the mysteries of the entity, and equip you with the knowledge to outwit, outrun, and outlast the relentless killers. Are you ready to face the terror and emerge victorious? Or will you succumb to the darkness? Your survival starts here. Everyone who plays DBD goes on a journey, and they have to go down a route of survivor or killer. Some people choose both, but today we are going to be focusing on survivor. For those looking for the basics for killer and that sort of stuff, that will be in a later video, which I will then link down below. If you don't have DLC, you will only have Dwight, Meg, Claudette, and Jake. And in my opinion, the best survivor out of the four of them is probably Meg. Because when you come across to the blood web here, and for those beginning, you won't have any characters prestiged. By prestiging a survivor and leveling them up to level 50 to prestige them, you then unlock their free perks across all survivors. And the reason I say you should do Meg first is because of her perk, Adrenaline. Adrenaline actually happens to be my go-to perk that I have in every build. And the description for Adrenaline is you are fueled by unexpected energy when on the verge of escape. Instantly heal 1 health state and sprint at 150% of your normal running speed for 5% when the exit gates are powered. Adrenaline is on hold. If you are disabled at the moment, it should take effect and will activate when freed. So basically, say you are on hook when the other survivors finish the last gen, the effects of Adrenaline will take place once freed from the hook. I'm not 100% sure if the sprint is included in that, but 1 health state, you can basically go from being on hook to fully healed once you come off the hook straight away. Adrenaline will wake you up if you are asleep when it triggers. Adrenaline ignores the exhausted status effect and causes the exhausted status effect for 40 seconds. Basically, any perks that require you not to be exhausted will not work if Adrenaline pops at that last gen. So perks like Life from Feng Min won't work in those 40 seconds of exhaust after Adrenaline. But I would say to level her first. Now, to do with what leveling is, let me go to someone I haven't leveled yet. So someone like Ellen Ripley here, one of the most recent DLC survivors, I haven't leveled her at all. When you come to the blood web for the first time, you'll get the blood web. Your mind has opened up the blood web, and it will tell you about the blood web and all that sort of stuff. And basically, the basic definition of the blood web itself is this where you're going to be getting perks, you're going to be getting add-ons, offerings, and items. So with survivors, we have 3 key items. Oh no, 4 key items I think it is actually. Because with these things you have maps, you have toolboxes, You have keys, flashlights. Okay, it's 5 items, and medkits. Medkits are actually self-explanatory, or aid kits, should I say. They are self-explanatory. They give you the ability to heal a survivor quicker. You can also use it on yourself. And we will get into more healing-based things later. You then have toolboxes, which allow you to fix gens quicker. They allow you to sabotage hooks, making it impossible for a killer to hook someone on that hook for a certain amount of time. They also have, with all items, they have certain charges. The charges are increased depending on the rarity of the item. So like this Alex's toolbox has 24 charges, but you have other ones that are 32 charges, so those two are linked, and that one are linked. They're basically doing the same thing. We then have maps, which will reveal hooks to you. They can reveal items, I believe, as in chests. They can reveal generators to you, and I believe, is it the key? A key? No, one of them can actually, track the ability to look for hatch. I will explain later some other things to do with maps and that sort of stuff while in a match. You then also have the dull key or broken key. I think the broken key, the broken key is one that can't be used on hatch, but the dull key can be consumed using hatch. So that is items. We then have add-ons. Each item has selected add-ons that work with it, so you won't get stuff like the syringe, gel dressings, bulb. Those won't apply to stuff like toolboxes and other items that it doesn't actually apply to. And again, with the add-ons, they come in different rarities. You've got stuff like brand new part for the toolboxes. You've got grip wrench, hacksaw, which are used for sabotaging hooks. So they do all have like special things they can do. Like the instructions here stop skill checks from appearing on generators while you are using the toolbox. Now to get into offerings. Offerings have a variety of things they can do, from greatly thickening the dark mist to the fog that's around you during matches. You've then got petrified oaks and stuff like that that stop, calm the entity slightly decreases the hook, but the distance between sacrificial hooks appearing. You then have coins and that sort of stuff that increase the amount of chests. There's another one that stops add-ons and items from being consumed if you die in a match. And then you have other rare offerings that take you to certain maps. Each map will tell you where you're being sent to. So it'll be like tremendously increases the chance to be sent to Nostromo wreckage when burnt. And some of these do come in DLCs, but I do believe every offering is base game sort of stuff. You then also have other ones which take increased luck and also increase the amount of blood points gained from doing a certain thing. So like the fresh bog laurel increases objective categories. So the blood points that come from those. We then have other ones that tremendously increase the spawning of the hatch near Killer Shack and other stuff like that. There is some event-based ones as well, which increase them, but you can only be used during events. There are certain, what they call offerings, that do give blood points to all players in in the match. So there was the 7-year anniversary a couple of months back, which gave you tiramisu's, which 100% increased the blood point gain for everyone in that match, and it actually stacked. So it went, if every single person bought it, it was 500% better. And there are other non-event based ones like the bloody streamers, and there's also a green offering that looks like the sealed envelope, which gives 25% to all categories for all survivors in their match. One thing I do want to explain for survivors as well, and this also works for killer as well, when you're playing through the game, you will be leveling up and earning a currency called iridescent shards, which can be used to either buy cosmetics, because there are certain cosmetics that are locked behind having a certain amount of iridescent shards. But if you come into the store, there is a tab called the Shrine of Secrets, where every 7 days on a Tuesday, the perks in here will change. There will always be 2 killer ones. So currently we have Save the Best for Last and Play With Your Food, which are the shape. He has 2 of his perks in here currently. And at the time of filming this, we also have Resurgence, which is a Jill Valentine perk, and Potential Energy, which is Vittorio's perk, one of Vittorio's perk. And these perks will change every 7 days. They will cost, for the green version of them, 2,000 iridescent shards. I think it's 1,000 for the yellow version of these, if you haven't bought them before. And if you already have them green on all killers, all survivors or killers, you will get them as their purple level 3 rarity, which I believe costs 4k, I think it is, or 3k. I think it's 3k to buy them at their level 3 rarity. And once you then own that perk, you can, and I wouldn't suggest it, spend 4k to buy that perk again to get 100k blood points. Pretty much, I wouldn't say it's for free, but it kind of is for free because it's just stuff you're getting by leveling up in the game. But there are also certain, I want to say that they're mainly killer based. I know Clown has one. He has Mr. Puddles, which is 21.5k iridescent shards. And that is one of the many cosmetics you can buy that are just for iridescent shards. Within Dead by Daylight, I did mention that we have to do these generators, and they are not as simple as just walking up to the generator and just doing them. While doing the generators, you will end up getting these quick time events like this, skill checks, which on PC are as easy as just clicking space, and while doing them, if you fail them, as you saw at the end of me doing that generator, the gen will pop, giving the killer an alert to your location, which is why we're now in chase. So, to show off exactly what happens when you go on hook, at the bottom I'm saying chance to unhook, which does that, to basically, if you let it do it, it will try and unhook you. If you fail, it decreases your time. The survivors there can try and unhook you, but if hit by the killer before they unhook you, it cancels the animation, and if unhooked, you get 150% healing because I have a perk for that. You get endurance for a certain amount of time. You also get haste, I believe it is. I can't remember if that's part of one of my perks or not. But you also get the little bar at the bottom, which fills up if the killer is right next to you and there is no survivors around. If there is a survivor nearby and the killer is nearby, that bar will not fill up at all. And just to show you what happens when you go into second phase on Hook, the entity will attack you and you will also get skill checks, which will pop up every so often until saved by your teammate. So with all the generators now being complete, we can make our way over to one of 2 exit gates, which in this map one is right here, which a bar will fill up as you've pulled the lever at 30%, I think, oh no, 25%, the first light will light up, 50%, the second light will go up, at 75%, the third light will go up, and you can leave it at 99%, which is what a lot of people do, just to make sure other survivors are able to escape too. I don't think anyone's over on the other exit gate. A lot of people will just pull it. But there's the Leon. Meg's on the other gate, so we're going to pull the gate. And we can now exit. When you leave, you get the match result escaped screen, or whatever, I can't remember what it says when you die. But you then come to the blood point earnings screen, which you get is broken down to objective, survival, altruism, and boldness. Boldness is based on how close you are to the killer without killing knowing you're there. Altruism is based on saving people from hooks, healing people, and all that sort of stuff. Objective is based on doing gens, and getting points doing it that way. And then you have survival, which is, I believe, is based on you exiting the game alive, not being attacked by the killer and stuff like that. We then move to your online survivor grade, which is broken down into benevolent, evader, lightbringer, and unbroken, which all play into those original 4 categories I've just mentioned. Which benevolent is you saving me from hook, people not getting hooked, and not having injured states and that sort of stuff. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, benevolent starting value is always starts at 35. Healing survivors goes into it. Saving people from hooks, hooked survivors decreases it, and unhooking survivors increases it. You then have evader, which is being near the killer, so stealth. Chase is 1, so managing to get it popped up in the corner saying chases and escaped, I believe it says. Chases lost is when the killer hits you, I believe, or you get downed by the killer during that sort of stuff. And you also get more for pallet stunts, so managing to pull the pallet down right on the killer and stopping them from chasing you for a bit. Lightbringer is stuff like doing dull totems, hex totems, cleansing them, powering the exit gates, killer diversion, generator repairs, and all that. And then you have Unbroken. Fully goes into you surviving the trial and being fully healed when you do so, I believe. That is the only way to fill Unbroken. Unbroken is based on your chances of survival in that match. If people have enjoyed and haven't already, and they haven't enjoyed the basics of Dead by Daylight, then drop a like down below, subscribe for more, because I will be covering the basics of Killer at some point. I will be going into more in-depth stuff with like surviving in matches, certain things you can do in match that might prolong your survival, and stuff like that. But keep an eye out for those videos, and hopefully these videos help you prolong your survival in the trials of Dead by Daylight.
They tell us lies and